Do you think we should do a recipe video today? Yeah? What do you think, Kelly? To give you guys a bit of a rundown really quick before we get started, Ajax has had diarrhea for like 2 weeks now, and I was hoping it would resolve by itself, but it hasn't. So what I'm going to do here is share my recipe that I use for a bland diet. A bland diet just means that you do not feed them their kibble or treats or anything, and you pretty much stick to like meat and rice, yogurt, pumpkin, that kind of thing. So he had diarrhea for like 2 weeks. The only reason I have not taken him to the vet is because he is totally fine other than the diarrhea. He's full of energy. He's drinking a bunch of water to keep up, keep hydrated. I wouldn't even know if there's anything wrong with him other than the diarrhea. So that is the only reason I have not taken him to the vet. And I finally decided the last night, Thursday night, that I was going to put him on a bland diet to try and see, as kind of like a last resort before I'd go to the vet, if that would work. And it did work so far. I need to keep him on the bland diet for a little longer, I think. He relapsed a little bit this morning, but nowhere near as severe as it was. So I think if I keep it going for a little bit longer, he'll be okay. As a disclaimer, before we get started, if your dog has diarrhea, go see the vet. I cannot tell you to make this bland diet and it will work for you, because that's not a guarantee. If your dog is having diarrhea, there's blood, there's mucus, there's material in there that shouldn't be. They're lethargic, they won't eat, they won't drink. Go see a vet immediately. I am just sharing my recipe for if your vet says that your dog should just go on a bland diet, they determine they're okay, then yes, this is where you turn to. So I just need to throw that out there. I just have to say that because I don't want we all want to do it at home and save money on a vet bill, but don't put your dog's life in jeopardy, all right? So just gotta throw that out there. The only reason, as I said, is because he's acting totally normal, and I know for a fact that he is not parasitic or anything like that. So that is the only reason. He's acting totally fine, just problems with the diarrhea. So this is pretty much literally all that you need to do my recipe. Though it's not technically like my recipe, I did find this online. So disclaimer, it's not my recipe, but it's the one that I use. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. So what I have right here is a rice cooker. I find these, you can get these pretty cheap, and I find them like way easier and faster than cooking it on the stove. But you can cook rice in a pot on the stove, just so you know. I don't have the recipe right away, but it's basically just like the same idea as the rice cooker, but you need to scrape it out of the pan on the stove instead of having it in the rice cooker. So same thing, but you can go online and just look up how to cook rice on the stove. So this is the rice I use. You want white rice, not brown rice, because brown rice has too much fiber in it if your dog has diarrhea. So you just want to make sure that it's not minute rice, like not that 1 minute in the box rice. You want like long grain white rice that comes in one of these bags, and then you have to cook it for a while. I'm going to get started with that. So I'm going to put the rice in the rice cooker here and get it going. I'm going to cook 2 cups of rice. So I found that cooking 2 cups of rice and 1 pound of ground chicken or ground turkey will, putting those together will feed him for about 2 days roughly. I would cook more, but I don't think I'm gonna need much more after this. So I'm gonna get the rice started, and then I'll show you what to do with the turkey. Okay, I have my rice cooking in the rice cooker now. That will probably take close to an hour. So while that cooks, I'm going to cook the ground turkey. So last time I made this, I actually had ground chicken, but this time around I had my dad run to the store for me really quick. So only thing he could find is ground turkey, which is totally fine. And you can do regular chicken or regular turkey as well. I don't know if beef is bland enough. I think it might be, but in my experience, the turkey and chicken have always been the best. So what I'm going to do, this is a pound of ground turkey. And that's what's worked so far for my combination that I've been using. So I'm gonna cut this open, and I don't like touching meat. It's weird. I'm okay. So I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna cut it open, use a spoon, and you wanna mush it up and put it in your pot here. There we go. Grab it on the sleeve. Okay. Delicious. Okay. So I'm just gonna mush this up, stick it in the pan. I definitely have Ajax's attention. Yeah, I got your attention, boy. Yeah, the point of a bland diet is that it gives the dog's intestines a break. Usually the cause for diarrhea is that there's something that the dog ate that caused irritation in the dog's digestive tract. So the aim of the aim of a bland diet is to give the system a break. It keeps the dog, keeps them getting some nutrition, but it also makes it a lot easier to process and digest. So, got that. So this is what the inside looks like right now. Just a bunch of chopped up meat. So what you want to do now is add 6 cups of water on top of that. Yeah, make sure your pan's big enough to fit 6 cups of water in addition to a pound of meat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so to recap, I have a pound of ground turkey and 6 cups of water in this pan. Okay, so now we're going to move our pot full of raw meat and water onto the stove. And you want to bring it to a boil. So I'm going to let the meat sit there. And once the water starts boiling, we will turn it down to low and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So I will check in with you once it starts boiling. It's hard to see because I can't get the camera much higher, but the turkey and the water are boiling now. So now we'll put it to low so it can simmer. And I'm gonna put a timer on for 20 minutes. Okay, the rice is done. So what I'm going to do is unplug it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon the rice into this kind of Tupperware dish that I have, Pyrex dish thing, and then I add the meat to it afterwards when I'm done. And then I kind of just let that sit there and cool off while the meat finishes up. The turkey has been cooked. So here it is. So what I do, and this is totally an optional step, but you see all the broth in there? That's good to use. So I like to save that and pour it on top of his food when I give it to him. But just so you know, you can't feed it to them immediately because this broth is really hot. So you want it to cool down first before you do that. But if you don't want the broth, what you can do is just use a colander to catch the meat and drain the broth out. So I'm going to try my best to drain this without losing too much meat and to save the broth. But pretty much just add it into the rice, stir it in. And Ajax is definitely paying attention to me now. And then of course, I like to use ground chicken or ground turkey because it's easier to cook, in my opinion. I'm not by any means a chef of any sort, but you can definitely buy chicken breast or whatever and cut it up and cook it, but what you definitely want to make sure of is that you've cooked it all the way through. With the ground chicken and the ground turkey, I find that it cooks all the way through much faster because it's in smaller, thinner pieces. You know, it's all mushed up. Because if you give your dog raw meat, or not cooked all the way through meat, you're running the risk of them getting an upset tummy all over again, so don't want that. Alright, I'm all out of storage space on my camera and on my computer as well. So this is what the finished result looks like. There's this bland white rice and ground turkey. So this is what I wind up feeding him if he has an upset stomach or digestive tract. I usually feed him about the same amount that I would feed him in dry kibble. So like if your dog eats a cup of that, give him a cup of this kind of thing. Yep, hope this helped out. It definitely helps Ajax when he gets an upset stomach. And again, if your dog needs vet care, please go seek it. This is just a way to ease a symptom, not to cure. So we will see you guys again next weekend. Bye!